Today we're talking about noise and what that can do to your production. Noise can have a really big impact on your production. And what I mean by noise is the sound of the things around you that you're not even thinking about. Our brain's really good at filtering things out. So when you're recording a video, you really need to stop and listen with your headphones on through your recording device, like an H1 or an H4, for the sound that's around you. And it could be something just as simple that you might have to take care of, such as a refrigerator, a dehumidifier, a furnace, a Coke machine. Even clocks, for example, can make a sound, as we're going to see here in the example in a minute. And it's really important that you stop and you listen to these things in your environment. And here, I'm just going to give an example of the sound that you may not even think about that's going to have a real big impact and what's going to happen when you're trying to record. Now, we're going to start with probably one of the noisier things down here. I've got my studio down in the basement, and I've got a dehumidifier. So listen to this sound with the dehumidifier running. Okay, now I'm also in the basement again, so I have a washing machine. Also, I have a furnace down here, and this isn't even the full furnace running. This is just the pump to circulate some of the hot water through the baseboard. And even something as simple as a clock on the wall. All of these things can really impact your production. And if you don't stop and listen to them before you start recording, you'll be back doing your post-production editing, and you'll hear that sound, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's there. So it's really important to stop and listen to these things, and especially for things that cycle on and off, like a refrigerator, for example. It may be off when you start, or an air conditioner, and then it may kick in. So these are really important things to listen for and try to identify. And probably one of the most common things, cell phone. The last thing I do before I hit the record button is remind everybody, it's your cell phone off. And I don't mean just muted, I mean off, because even the buzzing sound, when it vibrates, will come through loud and clear. So that's the last step I do when I'm recording. So try to identify the sounds. Now, I've been on shoots where there's been a sound that we just cannot identify. We're listening, can hear it through the headphones. So what I'll do then is I'll take my H4 with my headphones on, and I'll walk around the space trying to identify where it is, what it is, and where it is. And in one shoot, for example, we were doing in a fire station, it was the pump for the geothermal system. Couldn't shut it down, but what we did is we wrapped a blanket around it to help muffle the sound, and it muffled it enough that it didn't come through. Now, there's going to be some sound that you really just can't do a lot about. Traffic, aircraft, and trust me, it comes through. Aircraft, lawnmowers, kids playing outside, things like that you just, in the environment, you can't take care of. What you can think about doing is relocating your shoot, trying to find another place, waiting and working around it. You might take multiple takes. For example, if you've got aircraft going overhead, you might have to try to do it between the aircraft flying by, so that might take multiple takes. Lawnmower, go out and ask the person if they can just hold off for a little bit. Things like that to try to take care of the environmental sound on the outside of your shoot. Now, the last thing I'm going to leave you with is all these things that you shut down, remember to turn them back on, especially the refrigerator. And a trick that I do that I heard, and I think it's a pretty good one, is I put my car keys inside the refrigerator because I'm not going to leave without my car keys. So, noise in the environment, those are some tips and tricks that you can use to try to minimize it and make your post-production editing a lot easier. So, thanks for joining me. Please subscribe. Take care. Bye now.